Luke chapter 22, verse 31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired you. To have is actually italicized, so it was added to kind of help it flow. Personally, I think it flowed just well without it. But it says, Simon, Simon, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. To separate everything that is valuable, to get you to be the chaff, not the wheat. Satan's desire hasn't changed since this statement was mentioned. Satan's desire hasn't changed since he tried to overthrow God. He sifted Adam. He sifted Eve. We see where that went. So if Satan's desire is to have us, to destroy us, to engulf us, to completely devour everything about who we are, it's like, what is our point then? I mean, he's a good adversary. He's against us. It was Jesus' next statement for Peter that caught my attention being sifted. Jesus goes, but I've prayed for you, that thy faith fail not. Can you imagine being Peter for a second? I like Peter. I know, and I was talking to Joseph earlier this week. I like Peter. I know different people. Dad always kind of leaned towards John the Beloved. All of Dad's stories always about John Beloved. You know, he'd do the whole skit where he'd set the chair down. It was Jesus, and he put his head on the bosom of Jesus, and he was hanging out listening to him talk. And I think that's really great. My brain doesn't go there for John the Beloved. Peter, I think, was the guy standing at the back of the room watching the door. Now, he was involved. I mean, he was intimately involved in everything, but there was a certain aspect about Peter. And really, truly, and I'm only going to pick on Luke, the disciple, for just a moment because I can. Luke was a tattletale. Look at the book of Luke. He tells stories that no one else told. He had a perspective on the Bible, and he had a perspective on the disciples that isn't shown anywhere else. We don't hear stories about Matthew. We don't hear very many stories about John or any of the other 12. Peter, though, we hear a lot about. I like Peter. Peter was a hothead with the revelation. I can join that. But he says, I've prayed for you that your faith wouldn't fail. That no matter what comes against you, knowing that the enemy was going to come and get in your face, fight you every tooth and nail to try and get you distracted, to try and get you to fail, to try and get you to fall, to try and get you on your face. But listen, I'm not praying that it doesn't happen. Jesus never prayed that it didn't happen. He didn't say, I pray that you're not tempted. He didn't say, I pray that you have an easy, smooth life, because none of the disciples did. He didn't pray that the enemy will ignore you. No, he prayed that because the devil wants to devour you, I'm praying in advance that your faith will not fail.